Ladies and gentlemen, today y'all sent me this video by Gotcha Smack titled, I spread misinformation and was wrong about Augusta, which is a pretty interesting title, you know. Whether you're a fan or a hater of the homie Smack, you gotta, give him props for, saying he spread misinformation and was wrong about Augusta, or was he? I don't even know what this is all about, but I guess we're gonna find out. I'm gonna find out with you guys. First, right now, let's see what this is all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who know me, y'all know I've made a career in this space off of putting my money where my mouth is, off of going the extra mile before I release content just to figure out extra things that people may have missed because, well, it's the nature of the business, right? The guide making business. People are trying to get guides out as fast as possible because the algorithm favors that.
I'm telling y'all, bro, I ain't never spoken with Smack. And I don't know Smack in the past, but the few times that y'all had me react to this man, why he gotta say some shit that is usually fucking facts, bro? I hate the way that the business works, but it's just the way the business works, right? They'll drop characters, and I was talking about this not too long ago. They'll drop a brand new unit, and you'll have every Billy Bob drop a guide on how to play the character, and all they really do is, like, read the kit, tell you, well, you use this and this, but then they don't actually play the characters or learn optimized rotations or learn little gimmicks and animation cancels or rotations that could be different based on team composition. They just show you the base things, and as time goes on and people who actually play and test things find out how to play the character better, you'll go back and look at the cookie cutter day one videos for most people, and then you look a month down the line as who's maining those same characters, and most of them will be playing very different. It takes time. Even though a unit might be very simple and easy to understand, it takes time and you actually putting in the gameplay and the effort to learn these rotations and the way to optimize your team compositions with certain units. That's just the way it is. But as content creators, we got to get the goddamn videos out day one. Otherwise, y'all won't watch this. You'll go watch Billy Bob that drops the videos an hour after the character drops.
And because the community is more interested in it at that particular point.
Yup, that's just the way it is, bro. It's hot. You know, the topic is hot. Y'all want to see what it is.
So while the topic is hot, you got to get that guide out fast.
Bro, exactly what I just said.
There's no way on God's fucking green earth these guide makers are actually finding out the most effective way to play these characters in the time that...
Bro, I'm telling you. What? This motherfucker's like my cousin with a lot of his takes, bro. Straight up.
They get the guides out.
Yep.
It's not how it works. You know what's funny? Nobody should be mad at them because that's the nature of the business, and that's
just the way it is, bro. A lot of times people will make videos, they'll drop a guide or a rotation, and they'll make a mistake. Bro, it feels like it's the apocalypse in the comment section. Yo, you're trash. You suck. That's not how you play. You missed one heavy attack. You should have used the echo in between her first and second heavy, bro. There's always some nerdy ass know-it-all with arthritis on their fingers that hasn't bathed in 3 weeks, that smells like hot Cheetos, commenting in the goddamn videos talking about you suck because you weren't an absolute master the day one of the character dropping. There's always that guy, bro.
The best way to be successful in that topic and niche. I have no problem with it. I blow no smoke up their ass. But what's funny is how quick the community advocates that is the most efficient and optimal way to play a rotation.
Bro, you know what's funny though? They be dropping videos, right? With the normal basic rotations, and every YouTuber does this day one. Shit, I don't drop gameplay guides, but you know, a lot of YouTubers drop these gameplay videos, and people, like he says, will deem that as the optimal and best way to play, right? And if you don't do it exactly like that, you're just missing rotations, you're not optimizing your gameplay, and then out of the woodworks, bro, from the corner of the mountain, a dude called Wallenstein comes out and does the most insane rotations with the most crazy teams, with the craziest clear times, and then all those people that were bitching about the other dude not doing the basic rotations, they be hiding. Yeah, we're not gonna tell this guy that's not how you do it, even though that's not how we all do it, because we don't have that skill, but we ain't gonna say shit. But we gonna say something to the guy that's trying to show the way he's doing it, right? There's always those people, bro.
I was told I was a fraud.
Oh,
The
no.
guy that spent an extra week cooking
Oh, no.
to figure out what other alternatives, because there always are.
Yup.
What better rotations, because there always is.
Yes. Bro, this is such a thing with Augusta. I was literally showing this while I was doing holograms about a week ago, right? How you can literally do her rotations and start the rotations in two completely different ways, depending on what your goal is and what you're trying to do, and your partners, right? How you're trying to do your rotations could start completely different one way or another, and both ways work. Both will clear stuff, and the only real difference is that when you look at the rotations, one might get things done, let's say, 5-10 seconds faster than the other, but the other one might feel smoother to play. So it's like, which one is better? Both are fine. Both are absolutely fine. If you're talking about like 2, 3, 4 second difference in rotations, even a 10-second difference, what are we talking about? Like, why is this rotation not good, and why is this, bro? People try to mid-max, and then you look at their gameplay and they play with their fucking elbows. They be out here window shopping, bro, trying to tell you how to play, and then you go watch them play, and these motherfuckers plays with their toes.
There might be, from the general consensus that was delivered to you by guide makers, I was told I have a skill issue.
Oh,
that I don't
no.
know how to play the game.
Oh, no.
My rotations are wrong. And
Oh,
that I'm
no.
a fraud.
Oh, no.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, they severely underestimated
Oh, no.
Smack. See, when you tell me these things, I'm gonna go and find out.
What my hater accused me of. Bro, that's so funny, bro. Bro, that's a funny ass thing, bro. What my hater accused me of. Smag has a skill issue. Smag doesn't know how to play the game. Bro, they wrote a whole hit list for this man, bro. Bro, that's like 13 reasons why. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. It was almost 13 reasons why, bro. 13 reasons why you suck, bro. 13 reasons why you have a skill issue. Shit's wild, bro.
If it's true, there's a lot of people who don't do it. They just go, whatever, man. I'll just take that one on the chin. The irony of the rotation prescribed that these people advocate is it's a Genshin Impact rotation inside of Wuthering Waves.
What are we talking
Doesn't
about?
manage cooldowns of abilities effectively. When you're doing this Genshin-fied rotation, Augusta's purple ult is up the entire goddamn time. In like 15 or 20 seconds goes by and her ult's up.
Yeah.
The purple ult, the skill's up, the freaking echo is up.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the most optimal way to play.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking to myself, how is that possible? And I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying if it is, this is a massive problem in a game that has given us so much more skill expression, specifically to differentiate itself as the most like in-depth combat system in the mainstream space. This is what separates WoW from Genshin. So you're telling me the most effective way to do this team is to just do a Genshin Impact formula. It just did.
See, here's the thing. A lot of people look at certain rotations and they want things to be just cookie cutter and linear, right? When they start to get a little bit more convoluted and complex where they are optimizing cooldowns, they don't like that, bro, because they can't play that way. So when cooldowns are being optimized, echo cast, abilities, and things like that, while you're doing entire rotations, a lot of people aren't used to seeing that. They're used to, for example, the basic, start with Shorekeeper, go into your buffer, go into your hyper carry, and you're done. They're not used to like this more advanced gameplay that optimizes cooldowns a little bit more, right? And that's where I think the problem lies, or I think that's what he's talking about. I haven't seen his rotations. I don't know what he did, nor can I judge rotations, because it's all about like stats, the way your characters build. ER sometimes plays a big factor into like when you do your rotations, will you have your abilities up, at a certain point. So there's a lot of things and a lot of factors, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that it all comes down to like optimizing rotations, optimizing cooldowns, and the way he's doing things that people weren't just vibing with. But I'm pretty damn sure in this video he's gonna show them the way.
Makes sense to me. This is why I went and did the extra mile. These guys said you should do your research before uploading this content, bucko. I did, dumbass. And that is why I was like so what do I say? I was so firm when me and Saint were in the call about Saint doing a whole rotation through to see the time differences, because
Oh, so him and Saint got in a call and did like rotation comparisons. If he's doing this video, I'm sure that the time difference was very short. It was for sure under 10 seconds at most, going to either Gotcha Smack's side or Saint's side, but it was very damn similar if he's still doing the video and standing 10 toes down on his take.
I wanted to see if he would get the same thing I got, which was, oh yeah, wait, these kind of do the same damage. It's the exact same clear time. And you want to know what's funny?
Okay.
It was a 4-second discrepancy.
4 seconds, bro. 4-second difference. At that point, it has nothing. If there's a 4-second difference in clear times between one player and another with different rotations, 95, if not 99% of the time, it will have zero to do with the actual rotation, and it will have pretty much everything to do with the way that the two players have their account built. Because at the end of the day, you could do the same rotation and this guy in the corner could get it done faster because you'll have more stats. You'll have more crit damage, attack, you know, let's say Augusta, heavy attack damage. And at that point, it's really hard to compare two accounts with different builds when, you know, the difference in clear times is so small. It doesn't really come down to rotation at that point, more so the stats. Now, if it was like a 20-25 second clear time, then stats play a lot in the matter, but also the rotation. But in this scenario, it's all about the stats for sure.
And then I realized that's not something that represents the truth, because this is a DPS game. You cannot use separate builds and accounts. It doesn't matter.
What did I just say?
If it's only 100 attack difference, which in that showcase, it was 270 more attack than my Augusta Saints build.
Oh yeah, that's gonna make that big difference. I remember when I was testing my Brant against one of my homies, Brant, he had like literally like 200 more attack than me, and he was dealing quite a bit more damage than my Brant. Quite a bit more damage than me because he had more attack than mine.
More crit damage, more energy recharge. Like there's no way we can ever get a accurate representation.
Okay, so one of the two players had more attack, more energy regen, and more crit or crit damage, and the difference was still only 4 seconds. That's all that needs to be said. If anybody sees that comparison, and he was slower than Saint by 4 seconds. If anybody sees that and says your rotation is wrong despite the fact that he got almost the same results while having less attack, less ER, and less crit damage, they're just dumb. It's that simple.
Of these different rotations, unless you're using the exact same account and testing the different rotations with the exact same builds. This is very important. Now, I want to take it a step further and explain to you guys why I was so adamant about my rotation being just as good, if not better. It goes back, I mean, I've been playing games for a very long time. Let's just face it, I really have. And we are gonna show off a side-by-side comparison of both builds. I even got another person who I know no-lifes the hell out of this game's combat. And
who's she gonna invite that he knows that no-lifes the hell out of this game's combat? Is he about to call Wallenstein up in here?
I got him to verify that I wasn't tripping, and even he agreed. It's Large Banana, the same guy.
Large Banana? Yo, I have Banana Man in my chat, bro. Y'all cousins? Banana Man and Large Banana, bro. Y'all definitely related, bro. Hell nah.
Guy who gave me the cook with the Camellia build. Like, we're gonna get into that in a bit, but I want to make sure you understand this fundamental concept. It's very important. In fact, if you ever play a game with cooldowns, always think of this and you'll know if you're not playing the characters to the best of their abilities. It's very simple. When you play a game that has an intricacy or gameplay mechanism that is attached to what is called a cooldown, all you have to do is make sure the cooldowns are always on cooldown.
Bro, everything I've said in the video so far, every single thing I've said in the video has been said by Smack a little bit after I said it, bro. Look, a lot of times when I'm in stream or I make my videos or I talk to some of y'all or debate certain takes, I ask myself, how is it that us CCs, even though it's our job, have to break things down to such a simplistic manner just so a few smooth brains out there can understand those things. Like, how is it that some of these things that for me are like kindergarten level, and I'm sure a lot of you watching might think, yo, those things are like basic knowledge. There are still some dense, brick-headed, square-headed motherfuckers out there that can't seem to understand basic principles, bro. Like they can't seem to understand it, bro. And this is exactly what I was talking about. When you're doing comparisons and you have two different builds, it's going to be very different. Times will vary, right? There's also gameplay. There's also the way that you pair your characters. Cooldowns, the way you manage your cooldowns. Bro, there's a lot that comes to it. But at the end of the day, how you going to say a rotation is bad, you don't know how to play, when you're getting the same results as the optimal rotation by having still 10-15% worse stats than the optimal? I can't, bro.
Very simple. It's been a tested recipe for maximum DPS since the dawn of cooldown gaming, okay? You play an MMO, you're doing the cooldowns, make sure you're using them, bro. You know, World Warcraft, hitting all them cooldowns. It's the same thing in Wuthering Waves. There is no way a rotation that is making sure all the cooldowns are on cooldown and you're doing this effectively while still getting through all of their intricacies is going to do less damage. And if it does, that is a fucked gameplay system.
Yeah.
That system is ass. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense at all. You're essentially getting punished for playing better.
Yeah.
You're not the one with the skill issue. The one with the skill issue is the one doing the Genshin Impact rotation, but they're doing more damage. What? Math ain't mathing.
Yeah.
That ain't making no sense. Now, with that said, there's some people who say, well, you ramp up all the buffs, put it into one character, and that one character does damage. That's also a tested formula too. True.
Yeah.
However.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, bro. It really depends on how your team is built and how you decide to reach the end goal, right? If we get two people together and your way of playing is quick swapping and you clear everything in 30 seconds, while the other dude's way of playing is ramping up the hyper carry to deliver a big ass nuke and he clears it in 30 seconds, how are you gonna say either one of the gameplays is wrong, skill issue, or bad? Like, it ain't even worth discussing at that point. Like, it don't matter. The reality of it is we both got to the end goal with almost identical results. What does it matter if one way is not the way you would do things? It's just, it makes no logical sense at that point.
Because in Wuwa, you can swap back, and do all these other little like cute things that maintain DPS, you should still be able to do a rotation in a way that fulfills all of the conditions to maximize DPS, ramp up the buffs into that character's kit while still keeping cooldowns on cooldown. And that is what we want to show off today. Let's look at it.
Oh shit. Okay. We got some gameplay. Okay, let's lower this a little bit. Let's just lower this. Bro, how am I 6 minutes into this video and I've been reacting for almost 20? Oh, hell nah. What is all that he's gonna talk about in here, bro? Because I feel that I already nailed it, like, right on the head. Okay, he's just gonna be doing rotations and showing things. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up with this video there, because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like, bro, he said what he needed to say in the first 6 minutes of the video, and then everything else that I feel that he's gonna show here is like absolute concrete evidence and proof of what he's saying to the people that are square-headed out there in the internet, bro. So I feel that I got to where I needed to get to in the video. I agree with what he said, bro. If he went out there and tested versus like Saint having a better build than him, they got similar results, what more can you say? He's out here doing the correct cookie cutter rotation here, and then he's doing a Smack's rotation, and I'm guessing they're gonna get similar results. Probably seconds of difference, you know, maybe Smack's is 5 seconds slower or faster than this one. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you can't really call someone a fraud. You can't really say they have a skill issue and they spread misinformation when the results are so freaking similar, bro. Not everybody's gonna play the same exact way. Not everybody's gonna do the same exact rotation. At the end of the day, the game allows you to be creative. The game allows you to experiment with your own gameplay. So if you can get the, you know, the ideal results by playing a completely different way than most people are playing, bro, you're winning and you're having fun and you're doing it your way. So that's going to be it for this video. Shout out to Smack. If you want to watch the rest of his video, I have the link in the description below. But for now, thank y'all for watching. Hit that like button and peace.